Has your agent been in contact with Penn State?
Not to my knowledge. I wouldn't know that. He may have been. I mean,
How would you not know that?
well, how would I not? I don't have his
He works for
log
you.
of his phone calls.
He works for you.
He works for a lot of people.
Are you a candidate there?
Am I a candidate at Penn State?
Yeah.
I'll be coaching at Iowa next year. Is that your question?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're 14 coming up, so
I know.
as long as Iowa will have me, I'll be here.
You need me to answer that one?
I know you did already.
Okay, so I mean, you know, my agent represents a lot of people. He may very well have called Penn State. I don't know. Penn State may
Okay.
have called me, but you know, I'm not saying they did. I'm not saying they didn't. I'll be.
You realize I
next
have
year.
to ask.
No, I guess you do, but it's ridiculous at this point.
Kirk, when Coach Fry retired, I think it would be fair to say that Bob Stoops was probably the people's choice for this job, and not a lot of people knew who you were. What was that process like for you? You're friends with Bob. You know, there's a chance he's going to get the job. Can you just kind of go over that and what that was like?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of ancient history, but you know, I'll preface it. When I went to Cleveland, I think I was at least 7th choice, maybe 8th on the list, and you know, the other people that wanted, so they worked their way down to me. I'm not sure if I was 8th on this list, but it really doesn't matter. I've never worried about how I got anywhere, and I know Bob was a candidate who was interviewed, and for obvious reasons. You know, he's an outstanding coach, had a great resume, was a graduate of the school, so that made perfect sense. And had that worked out, it would have been a great thing for Iowa. You know, no question that Bob would have done a great job here, and I'd still be in the NFL. So, you know, it wasn't like I had to have this job. I wanted the job. I don't mean to downplay it that way, but it wasn't life or death for me. It worked out beautifully for both of us. I think that's the best thing, and I know he's been extremely happy at Oklahoma. I know he's done a fantastic job. That's a matter of record, and I think you could argue he's been really good for that program, and you know, it's worked out for us at this end as well. I think we're the only 2 in our class that are still standing. I'm pretty sure that's correct. At least at that same school. Randy Etzel was hired at Connecticut the same year, and now he's at Maryland, but and doing very well. But yeah, there aren't many from the class, or whatever that was, that are still around.
Can you give us an update on Mickey McCall?
Yeah, he's still under suspension right now.
Will he be back for the bowl, or is that something?
We'll wait and see. Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Kirk, you had a couple more guys leave the program this week. How does that change recruiting? I mean, does that raise the number?
Yeah, we'll probably be at least at 20 now with scholarships, and our points of emphasis really don't change much. So, you know, we're still kind of focused on the same areas.
Are you concerned at all about attrition? You've got,
It's part of college football. In a perfect world, you'd like everybody to stay at the program, especially here, because you know players can't get better if they're not here. We typically don't get the most finished products coming in, typically, and so the longer they're here, the harder they work. And, you know, but attrition is part of college football, unfortunately.
Does that erosion first show up with special teams? Because you gotta plug in younger players.
No, I think injuries probably factored into our special teams more than anything. You know, I really do. And erosion, attrition, however you want to phrase it, again, it's part of college football. And I'd venture to say, I don't know that our numbers are higher than anybody's, probably not. So, but they're probably, I haven't really studied it, but probably similar to other people's.
Were you surprised by Marcus?
Yeah, I was because he was doing really well in the field and doing really well in school, but it just wasn't clicking for him. I think distance probably is a factor.
Is that a factor when you're recruiting? I mean, you guys have to go all over the country, so that's.
Yeah, if in a perfect world, if we could get everybody within a 4-hour radius, that'd be perfect. But yeah, it's just not realistic here. It never has been. So that's one of the challenges that are inherent to the program.
My weekend, you took a step even better today when we received the phone call from the Insight chairman, and so that was exciting to get an opportunity to go back. A great opponent.
We're all very, very excited about it. We had just an outstanding experience last year down in Arizona, and the committee, the people involved, couldn't have been more hospitable and just tremendous. So that part was outstanding. You know, we're looking forward to returning there for obvious reasons, and very much like last year, we have a very tough draw, great challenge on our hand. Like last year, they've got an outstanding quarterback, I would assume a first rounder for sure. And they've got a tremendous coaching staff. You know, Bob Stoops is a guy I've known for a long time and have tremendous respect for him on all levels. Tremendous person. Was an outstanding player here, and just does a great thing. I regret they were kind enough to host us last summer. We're looking at facilities right now, getting ideas as we move forward with our project. And I wish I'd paid closer attention to the football aspect. Maybe picked up a playbook or something like that when I was there. But happy, especially for our seniors. You know, they've been part of 35 wins over the last 4 years, 3 bowl victories, and to get a 4th one's going to be quite a challenge. So, yeah, we'll start that work here at the end of the week.
Is there any trepidation on your part? You're playing a buddy?
No, I mean, unfortunately, the way things have worked out since I've been back, we've had that opportunity on more than one occasion. It's not anything I look forward to, but there are worse things to do too. It's better staying home, I know that.
Did you get to see Bob last year?
I'm sorry?
Did you get to see Bob last year when they were playing down there at the same time?
Yeah, in fact, he made the rounds on the field right before the game, so it was fun. Wearing an Iowa sweatshirt. I doubt he'll have one on this year. Pretty good bet he won't. But yeah, Bob's still a Hawkeye, and that's one of the neat things about this profession, I think. And I think one of the neat things about our program, the guys that have come through here feel a real special bond towards the school. And you know, Bob's a good friend that way. You know, he's a good friend of the programs. You know, he's always been a great supporter. You know, so it's a nice touch at least, and it's kind of extra interest to the whole thing.
I didn't know it was going to be Arizona until late this afternoon, early this evening. I had several conversations with the Insight group over the past 2 weeks, as late as recently as last night, when we were at the Big Ten championship game. A lot of the bowl reps were there, and so we had a chance to get around and visit with each of them. But nothing definitive until about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
I don't get into the talks and the negotiations like Gary does and visit with the bowl people, but our reputation, thanks to our fans, you know, that helps us a great deal. I know that really helps us if it's close. And, you know, it's helped us in the past, and I would imagine this same thing this time.
Gary, when you had the conversations with the Insight Bowl reps, the topic of Penn State and that whole situation ever come up at all?
You know, just to talk generally, whenever I'm talking to a bowl rep, there's never any discussion about other teams. I focus entirely on what Iowa brings, talk about Iowa's fans, talk about our history, talk about our coaching staff. And so the direct answer to your question is no, but it's not unusual because I don't generally talk to bowl reps about any other team other than ours.